Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to our presentation on the Joondalup Innovation Challenge. And firstly and foremostly, I'd like to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, their elders past, present and future, and also would like to pay respect to over the 200 cultures that reside in modern Australia today. So Joondalup Innovation Challenge, why are we talking about the Joondalup Innovation Challenge? Next slide, please, Natasha. Joondalup, the smart place to be. We're the third largest local government in WA. We're known as the Perth CBD of the North. We're about half an hour away from the Perth airport and half an hour away from the CBD. We're home to what you can see behind me, worldwide, Australia's the largest periodic table and home to the Innovation Hub, which was the first innovation hub in WA. We've got the lifestyle, we've got the beaches, we've got 17 kilometres of beaches, we've got a learning precinct, we've got a hospital, we've got a conducive place to create jobs. We are known as the capital of cyber because the largest number of students studying cyber in TAFE University. So there is so much to go for in Joondalup. So, why are we running this innovation challenge? Next slide. What sort of struck me when I first joined Joondalup is that we are peaking at population growth from an economic development perspective. So our focus needs to be about growing and attracting public and private investment and creating a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, which is what Joondalup is conducive to. So the concept of really helping Joondalup grow as a global talent hub resonated really well because we can actually, solve Joondalup's challenges by the talent that we have here. And I'm going to hand over to Natasha to explain how that happened.
Thanks, Nasheed. Hello, everybody. Natasha Munasinger here from Frank. We were the education partner for the Joondalup Innovation Challenge with City at Joondalup. So Nasheed talked through why we held this challenge to really position Joondalup as a hub of innovation entrepreneurship. In terms of what we did, it was an inter-institution, interdisciplinary challenge. We had 137 students from universities, TAFE, and RTOs, and you can see on the map that they logged in and participated from 33 different countries. Here's a snapshot of the different partners. We also had a lot of great support from Study Perth, the WA Government, and Lottery West. And the students in their teams really solved problems that mapped against the city's economic development priorities. In terms of skills gained, so that the city got a lot of innovation, a hub of innovation ideas. For the students, it was really about employability and entrepreneurial thinking. So you can see on the screen the level of improvement in terms of teamwork, communication, tech skills, but also really interesting to note were points 5 and 6 that a lot of them, a significant majority of them, would now consider being startup founders and consider working in startups. So that could be a result of sort of COVID changing the rules, or it could be just a general interest in entrepreneurial thinking that came through from the student audience. In terms of learnings, and I'm sharing this with you, if you want to put something similar on in your space, in one of the things we really had to spend a little bit of time on was choosing the right technology platform and making sure the tools we use to communicate with the audience is the right one. So we found, for instance, email, the open rates weren't that great, but using Slack, the messenger tool was much more quicker and effective. We also use Zoom as our platform for learning. Another important point number 2 was around orientation sessions and having, making sure that the teams and the students built rapport, knew each other because they're meeting as strangers way before the challenge commenced. And the teams that did that well were able to have a better engagement through the program. We also want to make sure the mentors were briefed, heard from previous mentors, had their documents in place, and knew what was expected of them, before the challenge commenced. In terms of the engagement during the program, we had TEDx-style speakers. We bring DJs in, entertainers, just to make sure there's lots of high levels of engagement and activity alongside the learning, particularly because it was a virtual setting. In terms of challenges, you had students across different time zones, so you're never going to get a perfect fit in terms of when to hold this. The other thing in terms of timing was making sure, because we had 7 different partners, trying to find the time of best fit that didn't sort of overlap with things like exams. So timing, I think, is always going to be a bit of an issue. Finally, particularly in a COVID world and in terms of engagement, motivation, we found a shorter program would probably be a little bit more appropriate. So this one was 1.5 to 2 weeks. versus something a little longer, 5 to 6 weeks might be just stretching it, particularly in a virtual context. So 5 quick learnings just to help you in terms of your future programs. That brings us really to the end of this Inspire presentation. Thank you so much for listening to Nasheed and I. And you can find out more about the journey on that website, joondalupinnovation.com.au.